everybody, and welcome here to another Three Men and a PropTech Baby. And we are here today to look at Vaboo. And they are what are they? They're the Tenants.
We're a tenant reward platform.
Reward platform. There we are. So in what is traditionally an uneasy relationship, isn't it, with tenants and the agents? Quite often the agents getting it in the ear, left, right, and centre. And I know that Vaboo have been trying to put that right, and some quite forward-thinking agents on board with them that we know in our ranks. So today we're going to go through this, and as usual, I am joined. It's a bit of we should really rename it, shouldn't it? It should be the Two Wise Men and Whaley, because it's let's be honest, you're the ones that bring the content and the detail around. So first of all, we have Mr. Paul Morgan. How are you, Paul?
Hello. Yeah, very good. Look forward to this. Vaboo, Vaboo, Vaboo.
You like the name? I keep telling you, you keep confusing it with kazoo. You're off. It's very clever marketing if they've done that on purpose. And Mr. Richard Durrant, how are you?
Good afternoon. I haven't got a song for you or a rhyme, but I'm here.
Okay, and that's just the sort of that's the we don't do any rehearsing. You couldn't guess that, could you? For the people that are watching, we go straight into this. We haven't seen this. We don't. One day we're going to get caught out by someone sending us something we weren't ready for, but hopefully not this day. Paul, I believe you've got the straight away there. Really good, strong name there. Richard Dames know them very well. Great agency. Vaboo demo video. Should we just kick in and then stop as we go as usual?
Yep. Yeah. Do you not want to pick up on some of these names? I mean, IKEA, Simply Cook, Asda, ASOS. Wow.
You are absolutely right there, even before we kick off there. So I've seen a few of these, where a lot of these kind of reward schemes have fallen down in the past, isn't it? Is where you get the kind of Poundland version of stuff. But those are obviously, yeah, as you said, Paul, they all just jump out at you straight away there, don't they?
Yeah, some fabulous names. Even Asda and Sainsbury's, so use it for your shopping. Yeah, right, let's press play.
Okay.
And I'm the technical one.
Yeah, what have you done?
I forgot to share sound. There we go, start again.
Okay.
Hi guys, and welcome to the Vaboo demo. Today we're going to take you through the platform and some of the features. But before we go into that, I wanted to take you through what Vaboo is. We're a customer engagement and rewards platform. So this means we run and manage a platform for the agent that allows them to give access to their customers in order to build better engagement and also reward them with various different discounts and monthly prize draws. We help agents achieve three main objectives. Number one is point of difference. We speak to agents on a daily basis and find that agents tend to say they do something different, but most can't prove it. This results in weak statements such as, we excel at customer service, we go above and beyond, and my personal favourite, we have X years collective experience in the local area. So we help agents develop a loyalty program for customers that gives them something new and exciting to talk about, both when trying to convert new instructions and when talking to tenants. The second gap we fill for agents is customer engagement. We send out weekly white-labelled emails that engage customers with positive content, reminding them to go and use their discounts and enter the free competitions. Again, agents tend to tell us that they want to engage with their customers more, but find that it gets pushed to the back of the task list when their time is limited. And also, the agent sometimes doesn't know what content to send out.
Paul, can you
this results in marketing engagement campaigns.
What's really nice and really important there is obviously they are continually marketing and showing brand awareness to the tenants. And I think often as an agent in our nurture campaigns, we go after vendors and previous vendors, and because we believe there's business to be won there. Whereas actually, if you look at that four-dimensional customer, your tenants are probably going to become your buyers and your buyers are going to become your vendors and. So it just removes a need for the agent to have to deliver on that nurture campaign to the tenants.
Lots of people talk the talk on that four-dimensional client point, don't they? But actually, it's it has been traditionally quite hard to nurture and build on that.
Yeah, and I think certainly speaking from my experience is we completely understood the value of a tenant. But actually, when you're prioritizing it, you're doing your vendors, you're not on market locals, your previous vendors, your buyers, your financial services, and all of a sudden the tenants are at the bottom of a list of priority, and you never really get round to it with fresh content which is relevant to them.
I don't know if he's going to come on and say it as well, but I happen to know when I've spoken to them previously that the open rates of these newsletters is staggeringly high as well, which of course is, there's no point sending this all out and it just adds to your inbox and and it's seen as spammy. It does have really good engagement rates, which of course is what you want, isn't it?
Yeah, I wonder also, by having brands just looking at that email there, by listing Argos, which is a household name, does that increase a brand trust of your agency by being associated with some of these brands?
Makes it seem more serious, doesn't it? Certainly if you were, all those blue chips out there, yeah.
That are half finished with unengaging and sometimes tedious content. So we make sure emails get a high engagement rate and are sent out weekly to keep a consistent stream of content going out to the customer. The third main feature on the platform is data collection. The competition we run offers customers a chance at winning a month's rent for free. So to enter the competition, they must answer 3 or 4 questions based around their experience with their agent. We capture this data and report it back to the agent, and the insights help our clients monitor and improve their service levels and also uncover financial opportunities for the agent. I'll now take you through the platform in a bit more detail.
Paul, can you pause it? That's a nice touch, isn't it?
Yeah.
By offering if as a tenant, I would be more inclined to answer 3 questions if there was something in it for me. And if in it for me is my rent paid for a month, I would probably take the time to answer the 3 questions.
Have you seen it, Rich, when they do it? Because they film it. I saw one with, I'm pretty sure it was Paramount doing it, and then they interviewed them. The couple virtually burst into tears. It was actually quite touching, that they were there. So it clearly does act as a great inducement to fill it in as well. I'm absolutely certain what we're looking at there is obviously is fake ones, but NPS, that net promoter score, essentially a satisfaction index. If that is right, and some of those ones are around that, what's that say, 58 there. 58 is a stellar net promoter score. I mean, what you're talking about there is you're talking about essentially Apple-esque levels of loyalty, and I don't even think it's as, and that's not traditionally been, as we said, the experience that most tenants would traditionally have of agents. But the key thing for me is as well, it's not so much whether you've got to that position straight away. It's that you are constantly, obviously, checking in with them and getting that benchmark, aren't you? So you can see where things are potentially going astray, and act on it before it becomes an issue.
Yeah, and I picked up on a question he's mentioned, and in my greedy mind, you're all about consumer, I'm about money. If it's presenting the agent as an opportunity whereby they're asking questions along the lines of intentions to buy and then reporting that data back to the agent for financial services and everything else, it becomes a revenue opportunity rather than a cost.
Yeah.
Sorry, Paul.
Is that what you think he meant earlier when he saw in the last sentence where he said that this feedback helps create revenue opportunities?
If he didn't, we'll probably have to refilm, because that's certainly how I took it.
They do have their own utilities, don't they? That is an angle I know that certainly they are able to do as well. So there is the potential for earning with Vaboo in some of those classical areas.
Yeah.
How do you feel on the old dilemma of feedback of the agent's performance versus feedback of the landlord's performance? Because we all know that if a landlord refuses to replace a boiler, it's the agent who gets it in the neck, the agent who gets the bad rating.
I think it provides an opportunity for the agent to either improve the communication, because if they're scoring and feeling like that on this, they're going to be having a conversation with their mates in the gym or the pub or wherever it may be. So if their opinion is it's the agent needs to improve the communication to stop the tenant feeling like that. I mean, we'll all sit there as agents saying, yeah, they don't mean us, and that's fine internally. But, if they believe that it's the agent's fault on a questionnaire, they're having worse conversations with their friends.
Definitely.
Mm-hmm.
Let's start with the Learn page. We provide agents the option to add a page to their website that we design for them. It's completely white labeled and immediately shows anyone who visits the website that they do something different to their competitors. You can see some of the national brands that are highlighted here. There are around 700 discounts within the platform, and this page just highlights some of those. Not only that, customers can also log into the platform through this page and can save their email and password for future reference. Once logged into the platform, the customer will be able to see a screen similar to this. You can see that it is still white labeled and the colours are on brand for the client. Every client has an account manager who is responsible for the design of the platform and any continuing content changes. Along the top of the screen, the client logo is clear and there are some buttons at the top that make it easier for the customer to navigate. The present icon here allows the customer to quickly navigate the discounts, and if they click the heart in the top right hand corner of a tile, it will add it to their favourites, which can be found by clicking the heart at the top right of the page. Coming back to the home screen, you can see there is also a welcome message for your customers. We have some generic templates that you can use, or if you'd prefer, you can use your own messaging as well. Our first feature on the platform is called Custom Links. Customers log into the platform regularly to use their discounts, so we give clients the ability to give more visibility to certain pages or links they may want the customer to see. Property maintenance is a very popular link. We can link directly to a software, or if you don't use a software, we can direct the customer to an email address. This may reduce phone calls into the office and allow the team to manage their time better. You can add any social media links as well. You can have your own referral scheme, whether that's refer a landlord or refer a tenant. You can have a link to whichever review site you use. Customers generally feel more positive towards the agent when they're in the platform taking advantage of their rewards. So positioning a button that says leave a review can help boost those reviews for you as well. You can also add a Just Giving page or a link to a local charity or a sports team as well. The platform really is an online extension of what you already do in your local area.
So the ones that he's not mentioned that sort of jump out at me are things like you'd put a payment page on there, maybe a page for downloading invoices or something like that. That'd be good to see.
But critically, you know, from what he's saying is that's up to the agent to decide what goes on there, isn't it? So that's good. It's a nice little feature there. And I can certainly see that point about the reviews as well. That would make sense. They would likely be in a better space if they were logged in here, having saved some money and stuff like that.
Yeah, I think as an agent, you would measure where your tenants were going, and if you want, because ultimately you want everything in your CRM, all of that data in your CRM. So the link to manage your tenancy or whatever it may be would just be a link into the tenant portal, I would imagine, because you still want that data where you are.
You'd hope so.
The second feature is our monthly prize draw. So every month across our user base, we run a lottery style prize draw where a customer has the chance to win their month's rent completely free. Although we cover the cost of that month's rent, whichever agent the customer belongs to gets to present the prize to that customer as part of their own rewards platform. Essentially, Vaboo sits in the background while the client's brand reaps the reward. In order for a customer to enter the prize draw, they must first...
Just really quickly on that, it'd be fascinating to know whether they've always done that prize draw from the beginning or whether they've implemented it, and what the corresponding increase in obviously engagement was by doing that. They've obviously done it for a reason, and as I said, it looks really impressive when they put it out there, but it clearly has the right effect, doesn't it, in getting the people to fill this stuff in.
And they've clearly done that for the agent's benefit, for their client's benefit. There's absolutely no benefit for Vaboo in giving away a month's rent, but there is a benefit for the agents to entice the tenants to provide vital data.
It must work, because I know they've had that for a long time. I remember receiving the demo of Vaboo pre-lockdown. Could have been 2018 maybe, or 2019, and it definitely had it then.
Okay. Well, maybe they had the vision from the outset then.
Just like us.
answer 3 or 4 questions based around their renting experience. The answers they provide are reported back to the client to help them either improve their service levels or to better understand the customer's wants and needs. Once we better understand the customer, as part of a long-term engagement strategy, the agent can start to put relevant services and products in front of their customers and receive a financial gain from this. A data report would look.
So that must be what he meant earlier about additional income, because if you're able to put your own buttons on that very last question, around, are you interested in home insurance, that kind of thing. That could be where the additional revenue comes in.
Maybe. Yeah.
Unless I've misunderstood that.
No, agree.
A little bit like this, depending on the questions that were asked. Along the top, we show how many users you've given access to, what percentage of those are actively using the platform, and how many times people are logging in. And also we show the net promoter score of the agent. So a very quick note about net promoter score, or NPS. NPS is, in essence, the answer to the question, how likely are my customers to recommend my business to their friends and family? And you can see here, there's a red bar, a yellow bar, and a green bar. So that's the negative end, the neutral end, and the positive end. And the scale ranges from -100 to +100. And we actually monitor that for our clients. And they sit at an average of 52 within our client base. This is a great tool.
I mean, that really, really is. My understanding is, 20 and 30 is quite a respectable NPS score. And once you're getting above, 50, you're really starting to hit stellar levels of, advocacy. You hear people talk about Apple fans, don't they? That's kind of where you're going with that. And you wouldn't, and in what is traditionally a challenging area. So that really is impressive.
To benchmark your service level, and it gives you a solid number to work from to improve service.
So to benchmark your service level, I wonder if he shares scores or aggregate scores, or kind of the average score of an agent in your area of London, or the average score of an agent in your area of your county, something like that. Because as long as it'd be reasonably anonymous, it'd be good stuff to know, wouldn't it?
Look, we're huge aficionados here of NPS ourselves, aren't we? Ourselves. So look, there is all the research shows that it's not just about being sort of airy-fairy and saying the right thing. Companies that have been demonstrably shown that have high net promoter scores, are more profitable than other businesses, and crucially profitable over long periods of time, because they are obviously investing back into their clients for that long-term vision. So you can be cynical as you like at it. I would challenge anyone. I think the other key thing is other people, it'd be like that, wouldn't you? How are we being seen? You get a few bad reviews on the sites and stuff like that, but are you really checking out there to see what your clients? By going with Vaboo, you automatically know on a daily basis what the metric of satisfaction is.
And obviously everybody has a limited time with that sort of valuation pitch, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
But I would imagine if you're turning up at a vendor who's the tenants are going to look after a house, and you're able to demonstrate that your net promoter score from tenants in general is a 58, it's got to be a tick in a box from a potential landlord.
Do you know what I would be doing if I were? I mean, actually, they probably get this anyway, didn't they? But actually, to send out a net promoter score before they implement Vaboo, so that you can see where it is obviously at that point in time, and then monitor to be able to say our clients are 20%, 30%, whatever it is, happier since going with Vaboo is a pretty powerful statement, isn't it?
I'd be tempted to kind of in my pre-market proposal presentation or my NA presentation to have a bar like that, with the green and red at one end. Yeah. And if we're at 58, go on Google, find out what Apple's score is, find out what Amazon's score is. You find out the nearest big respectable company that you're bigger than, then put a big arrow saying, Apple, and we're here.
If I was, I agree with you entirely, Paul. And the other thing I would say is, if I was Vaboo, I would be going out there and getting a neutral company to do some market research and actually find out what the what the net promoter score is for the industry as a whole. Because that, as a comparison, again, is just powerful. And as you said, Rich, you've got limited time in the to pitch at it, and if you've got something like that to back up what you're saying as well. It's I'd want to have that in my kit bag.
Yes, it's your right move pie chart, isn't it, of south-facing gardens in 2-bedroom bungalows in a square mile.
Yeah.
With conservatories.
The account manager includes a summary and any important data, and you can also see any comments that the customer has left for the agent. Let's take a look at the discounts. A customer can scroll down and pick a tile from the scrolling bars below, or they can go to the top and pick one of their favourites or opt to find a category of spend. The customer can view the offer and see a simple step-by-step guide of how to use that offer. If they are happy with how the offer works, they can open the portal and redeem the discount.
I don't know if you read that quickly, but it said you can get the voucher to your smartphone. I think that's very cool.
It is, yeah. I think that's because that's how you do most of your stuff. I remember talking to John, who obviously runs the shop at Vaboo, and he was talking about how many of their people were using that for things like the coffee shops. I don't know if I can't remember which one it was, but that would be just what a wonderful feeling that is. You go into your little coffee shop on a Monday morning without having to pay it, and all down to just being a Vaboo client. Or crucially, they probably don't even know Vaboo, but actually they've been treated to a coffee because of their estate agent. There's not many people have that kind of ongoing goodwill, is there?
Yeah, be a good tenant, get a cup of coffee.
Discounts vary, but most will have an instant voucher, which is an easy way to use the discount from your phone or tablet, or it will have an instant reloadable card, which can be sent to the customer's address and they can use it in store. Some brands also use cashback, and a few even use a discount code. Any cashback offers will appear in the customer's pending cashback, and once it's cleared, it will move across to the approved cashback, where the customer will be able to withdraw the money, or they can spend it back in the platform very easily. If the customer hovers over discounts, they will see the various different categories of spend. They will also see what discounts are currently trending. They can also go into the search bar and type any discount they're looking for and find it that little bit quicker. The final feature within the portal is the total savings. Customers can actually see how much money they're saving year on year, which is a really positive thing to look at when it's their agent that's directly saving them.
These discounts are really credible, aren't they? I mean, I know 10% on a Cafe Nero is not a lot, but I don't know if you saw a few of them, like 25% off at Samsung, things like that.
No, I think they've
amazing.
gone out of their. I don't want to speak for them, but whether they're exclusive. But I know that John has really put a lot of time and energy into it to make sure. Because the problem is, and we see this a lot, don't we? Is sort of DFS have ruined it for everyone, haven't they? By sort of closing down sales and best percentage. So people are very, very dubious of actually of price reductions. But they've gone out of their way, from what I can see, and with household names being able to get decent discounts like that. That's not to be sneered at all, is it?
No, not so. No, I think this is a very good platform for the tenants.
That money. Although we provide hundreds of national discounts, we also offer agents the ability to source local discounts and.
Can you pause it there? I've held my breath hoping that I would see this. So as an agent, you want to support your local community, and my nervousness was. I want to go out, I want to build relationships, I want to support the local community. I don't necessarily believe that tenants care. And I think if they've got a 10% discount in Costa as opposed to visiting, the local cafe, I think they'll go with a discount. But from an agent's point, being able to support the local community, that's really important. So they've covered this clearly in this part.
I love it. I love it. Going around all going around all your local, just just to being able to really get to grips, get them cross referring back to you and everything else.
Yeah.
It had a lot of good stuff going for it.
When speaking with agents, many of them tell us they have tried to organise a local discount scheme in the past, or at the very least, the thought has crossed their mind. The problem they generally face is working out the logistics of how to actually make those discounts work. With a Vaboo platform, the agent just needs to organise what discount the local partner is willing to offer to their customers, and we'll actually do the rest. We design the tile, we put it in the platform under the category local discounts so your customers can easily find it. You can have anything from local pubs and restaurants to laundromats to van hire companies. And you can also partner with financial service products and services and offer things like content insurance, life cover, and perhaps rent guarantee products as well. The final thing I wanted to show in the platform is an example of the weekly engagement emails that we send out on our client's behalf. So at the top here, you can see it says fake agent. This would be the client's logo. And down below, quite simply, we send out every single week a very non-invasive email that just engages positively with the customer. So it's just a hi customer, a few examples of discounts with call to actions to engage with the platform, win your month's rent here, a couple more offers here that the customer might be interested in. And then down at the bottom, very simply, it is signed off by the agent themselves. And what this is doing is it's allowing agents to not have to think about engagement with their customer base. We currently get a 50% open rate every single week with a 7% click-through on links as well. So the engagement rates are incredibly high. That is the end of the demonstration. I hope you enjoyed.
I certainly did. It would. Well, given that we've founded a kind of review site coming from a similar place as these guys, it would be a bit stupid of us to not say nice things about these guys. But there's just so much to be going for it, isn't there? On that basis, I mean, you heard there, as I discussed earlier on, the 50% open rate in itself, to have that level of engagement. I would be really interested, and it's again maybe a separate bit of work, but it would be really interesting to plot and just look at the Vaboo client base on some of the review sites and to check that, you'd have to imagine that they are reflected in a better than average, public reviews as well, wouldn't you?
With Vaboo agents on public reviews, absolutely.
Just on the other side, whether it's a Trustpilot or whatever it is, that would, you'd imagine that to flow through, and it would just naturally start to get, because there's loads of different ways. Obviously, agents are trying to game it and everything else, doing it at the right time. But this is just hard coding it into your day-to-day business practice. Let's be honest, without actually having to do anything.
It would be really interesting to see, and I'm sure some of our agents do it, refer a friend, refer a landlord. You've obviously got that on your website and loads of different places. It'd be interesting to see how the conversions differed where you have got it out to an engaged platform who believe you are delivering value for them.
Spot on.
Yeah. Is your friend in rented accommodation? Refer them here.
Well, you've got your friend, but your landlords, and if you've got them engaged, ultimately, what do we want if we're being selfish? We want landlords and vendors.
I'd probably go a bit further, like I'd actually, if you did refer in a friend, opt them in to potentially win their first month's rent free, but also it wins you another go in, yourself, another essentially tickets in the pot as well.
Yeah, and I know they touched on it earlier about social shares. I wonder how easy it would be to leave a review for your estate agent or letting agent and share it socially, whether it be on Facebook or to Google. So there's some functionality there I wouldn't mind knowing more about.
According
But the best
to
time to get a review is when you're giving them 25% off at ASOS or B&Q, get somebody in the right moment.
yeah,
But the other
definitely.
thing is as well, just getting cash, but cash back as well, or a monetary discount is nothing like Paul just mentioned there. I saw his eyes glint and focus, of course, on the techie Samsung. You imagine that if it is money that can get absorbed into it just into paying your bills, and it's not terribly exciting. You're sat there with your big Samsung, laptop or pad or whatever else, and you think, I got that because of XYZ estate agent. Again, it's not a bad place to be,
Exactly.
is it?
So according to Truffle.com, the price it starts at £50 a month, and the premium service goes up to, so it starts at £1 per user per month. So if we assume the average estate agent's got what, 200 properties under management,
258. Not that I want to be nitpicky, according to Arla.
all right, well let's use 250 to make the maths easy, and let's assume there's 2 people in every property, so that's £500 a month for this. And it says couple agents save a minimum of 50% discount for premium access, so £250 a month. For £250 a month, I think you're probably not going to get better marketing to your existing tenants to build goodwill, keep them in there longer, and have the opportunity to upsell to them and keep landlords happy. It seems a cheap way to deliver all those benefits.
Well, as I said, I'm not surprised at some of the names. I don't want to say them just in case it was under NDA, but I know some of the brands that are using it, and unsurprisingly, it's the same old ones that that do well.
So it's not fake agent then.
Yeah, fake agent. Yeah. Anything you'd be concerned about? Is there anything we need to get Vaboo to qualify or correct for us? I don't. I mean, I again, I know I'd end up with about 60 bits of PropTech if I was buying, but this would be I can't imagine not having this really.
No, whilst I'm sure they don't, there's probably a question around that data point, because what you don't want is your tenant's valuable data then being shared or sold elsewhere.
Yeah.
I think I'd have 2 questions if I was an agent. The first one is, I wouldn't want a tenant going out and buying a £2,000 Samsung telly and then not paying the rent. So is there a way to know kind of the level of discount or voucher or benefit that the tenant's getting, at certain times? And I know there's GDPR around there and all sorts of issues, so I assume the answer is a no. But you'd want to know something like that, wouldn't you, in those kind of situations?
Do you think you would? Do you think that really impacts it, Paul? So I'll tell you a story. We had a guy who rented a house and he didn't pay his rent one day, and his excuse was, I've just bought a nightclub. Now, that's not a TV, and he clearly had a lot of money.
I apologized about that, Rich.
Yeah, I mean, something like that, they're going to pay next month. And then the other issue that I did think of has escaped me, so I'll come back to in a minute.
Okay, well, cool. I mean, so where we
yeah, I thought of it. Yeah, well, if I put my 1980s estate agent hat on, then why would I want to spend money looking after tenants?
You cynical bastard.
Why? Because the profits on looking after the landlord, isn't it?
Yeah, because you know why? Because the agent down the street that's winning all your landlords is using them.
I know, and I'm playing devil's advocate deliberately. Yeah, I'm playing 1980s agent, but there will be some agents out there who'll be thinking like that.
Yeah, and you're always going to have those, and that's. But I think that's why the best are getting better and leaving the rest in the wake, aren't they? To be honest,
250 quid a month, Paul. It's £3,000 a year. It's just one more instruction.
Yes. Yes, he used it. We're claiming it back, people. We're not ashamed to say that.
Yeah, I think that agents would spend that. Would you spend, what are you spending on marketing to the agents? How much time are you taking up to go out and build your own, community referral partnerships and everything else? I think it's and we all have these great ideas, but actually delivering them, setting it up, normally is what stops us doing them.
There are a lot of benefits here other than benefits to the tenant.
What I would love to see from them is a bit more context in the future as well. If they, across their client base, it's brilliant to hear that net promoter score. I'd love to hear some of that stuff if they're able to track it. What level of referred business has been derived from the platform. Some of that stuff. How much, across the client base has been saved as well for their tenants. Some of that stuff puts a context around. We've seen the logic behind it, but all of that would just make you think, well, actually, they are reading, they're opening the emails, they're engaging with the emails, and they're clearly actually practicing everything, using it as well. Because it's one thing setting up a service, it's quite another getting people to use it, isn't it?
Yes.
Cool. Okay, guys, I'm going to ask you for the normal. Thumbs up, thumbs down. Good stuff. Thank you, Vaboo. Very interesting. Keep them coming.
Everyone's kerfuffling.